Peace.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, are you having a motorsports Labor Day weekend hangover with all that motorsports that was going on? How you doing, man? Speed Freaks on MAV TV, the Freak Radio Network. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing. Speaking of MAV TV, I don't know. There has never been as much coverage for the Crandon Off-Road Nationals ever than what you saw on MAV TV. Congratulations to MAV TV for doing that. You have NASCAR in Darlington. You have the NHRA that wrapped up at Indy on Monday, IndyCar that had the doubleheader in Milwaukee, and then of course you have the ARCA. I could go on and on and on, so I could understand
Formula Drift. There were Formula One.
Oh man,
your favorite.
Oh yeah.
There was even a former freak in the booth at MAV TV at Crandon.
Yeah, Chris Jacobs, right?
See that?
Freak Nation is liable to be anywhere at any time. Beware.
Freak Nation, Kyle Busch is not in your playoffs. Did you hear what I said? Bubba Wallace is not in your playoffs for the NASCAR 2024 championship. And some of you are pretty ticked off. But I do want to ask you this, Freak Nation, and leave it to me to stir things up. Richie, do you have any idea where Harrison Burton finished Sunday night in the NASCAR finale before the playoffs? Any idea?
I actually looked this up because I was curious. So I don't know. I don't remember it exactly, but so I'll let Crash and Statman answer first, and then we can come back to it because I think I have an idea.
Well, I'm going to just throw it out there. What, 30th?
Not that bad.
Oh, okay. 25th.
Not quite that bad.
Oh. All right. Now it's impressive.
I'd say 19th.
All right. Let's just split it right up the middle there. 21st. Harrison Burton finished 21st, and I didn't watch the full broadcast, but I did watch a lot of it on an airplane flying back from wherever the heck I was in Missouri, Wheatland, Missouri, right?
Oh, drag boats were this weekend too.
Forgot about that, which, by the way,
first, that matches his car number, doesn't it?
I was just going to say, interesting place to finish.
But my point is this, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because we've certainly created a dividing line here in the Freak Nation. Harrison Burton, who we all know is not going to contend for a championship, earned his way in. He earned his way in Daytona, and now Bubba Wallace, Christopher Buescher, Kyle Busch, they are not in the playoffs.
Ross Chastain.
The
list goes on.
They are not in the playoffs, but Harrison Burton is. I get it. I understand it. He earned his way. I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm just putting it out there. I don't know, Richie, how much of the Cup race you watched on Sunday night. Again, it was that last 30, 40 laps that had me glued on the plane. There was no mention of Harrison Burton there. No need to, because he was never in contention. But did you hear any mention of Harrison Burton there, Richard C?
No, it was barely a storyline. They barely talked about it all race long. They were completely locked in on that playoff race at the cut line, and they were also locked in on Tyler Reddick's upset stomach for the entire year of the 4-hour race. He later clarified, ladies and gentlemen, that he did not puke and or poop himself during the race. He clarified that.
Did somebody on the broadcast claim that he did?
It was insinuated that he was maybe about to, but we never actually found out until after the race.
That's a little bit of a private thing.
He said it on the radio. He was asked. He was asked, Tyler, how are you feeling? He's like, yeah, I feel like I'm about to puke and poop myself, is what he said. So, but they got him the medicine. Wow. He was good to go for the rest of the race, and that was 8-1 story. Thank you very much. Good night.
Wow. Shades of
one. Listen to Richie dropping a little old school media in the conversation.
I would hope that if I was a trained professional like Tyler Reddick or Michael Jordan or some individual in the National Football League that comes into a big game that's sick and plays through it, I would hope that I could find a way to condition myself to do that. But every time I hear a story of an athlete doing that, just blows me away because, again, I reach for the Excedrin when I feel a headache coming on. But if I'm about to blow my backside out or throw up in my helmet, and I'm going to stay in a car for 3.5, almost 4 freaking hours, come on.
Not to stay in the car, but the heat and the tension and the work and the gear grabbing and all of that, the G-forces.
And when you're not feeling well, at least if you've ever been fairly sick but had to drive to a store or something to get on the highway, your eyes they just start glazing over. So the amount of focus that he had to have for those 3 hours, 3.5 hours with like probably watery eyes going on as well. Yeah, you're right, Kenny. That is ballsy what he was able to do. He channeled the energy from his team owner, Michael Jordan. Michael's like, I did this in the playoffs. You can do this to get you. Well, he's already in the playoffs. You could do this to solidify that regular season championship.
But he's not
No, he's not an athlete, that man. Not at all.
Oh, right.
No, he is not an athlete.
Yeah.
And what does Tyler Reddick do? He goes on to win the regular season championship
by 1 point.
By 1 point over Kyle Larson, as
the
he's
best
about
driver in the world of all time, ever seen by anybody anywhere ever.
So I can get that on tape. Bill, would you please say
Yes.
that again? But Kyle Larson, so I can use that to hold it against you.
What? Who was that? Was that somebody? I don't know. Who said? Did somebody say anything?
I say that Chase Briscoe's in the damn championship hunt now.
Kyle Busch was catching you. Was that the hardest you've driven in your entire life?
Yeah, I was sideways, counter steering. Felt like I was in a sprint car. So, yeah, this night just literally went perfect. The pit crew did an incredible job, and I was crying. Like after the checkered, I just won the Southern 500. This is a crown jewel, and what makes this race so special is all you race fans. Every time we come here, it's sold out. It's awesome, and we love you guys. And last time I went here was during COVID, so I didn't get experience with the fans. So grateful that you guys are here, and can't wait to celebrate.
Another crown jewel comment. Didn't we get a few of those at the Brickyard too? Sorry, Daytona 500, you're having more people join you on that crown.
And you couldn't, I could ask for a better finish, but you couldn't ask for a better finish Sunday night with Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch. And I know Kyle.
That all came together that was pretty stunning with the last few restarts and watching Chase just completely take off on that final restart, but watching Kyle do it from the 8th spot and then just keep climbing. You really didn't know until about 2 laps to go that Chase was going to solidify it. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Statman Suave, that move that he made to get around Statman's favorite driver, Kyle Larson, was bananas. I just imagine him reaching down and grabbing a NOS bottle, flipping the switch, because it was one of those moves where we're just looking around going, what the hell just happened?
Well, once you understand how it happened, he had 3 cars cutting the air in front of him, and that draft must have been huge. And how he missed, I think it was Larson, how he missed his bumper diving down the banking. It was pure, I know what I'm doing, get out of my way move.
Richie?
Yeah, I was just about to say that was mighty, mighty impressive. That was so cool. Because here's the thing: Kyle Larson he led about 200. He led 230 plus laps of that race.
He led a crap ton of laps.
Yeah, he was the favorite the entire race, and then for whatever reason, that last stage, he just couldn't put it all together, and he got beat. Man, like you said, man, the best driver in the world right now, got beat on a restart at a track that Kyle Larson has raced really well. He was the defending champion at the Southern 500 from last year, and he got beat by Chase Briscoe to make it into the playoffs. So that was an elite move, and I thought the race as a whole, it was 4 hours long, but hey, it was perfect Darlington for me, and it was great, and it was great drama. Playoff cut line was great. The chase for the regular season championship was great, and Chase Briscoe's emotion talking to NBC after the race there was great too. So well, good job all around, NASCAR. Good stuff.
I loved the 3 boxes that Lee Diffie and the booth were discussing. It was basically the race for the lead with Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe, at least in those final 20 laps ish, but it was also the race with Bubba Wallace and the race with Chris Buescher. And are these guys going to get in? But they won't if one of these two guys up in the top box actually gets in the race, because that's winning you're in. And then that automatically knocks the other guys out. Yeah, I loved the drama of the 3 boxes. And then Lee Diffie's voice to add to that is just.
I'm glad you brought up Diffie again. Imagine that. His first 2 races with these 2 finishes, Daytona and now Darlington, I've been used to Diffie's voice for many, many years. Love the guy. Very friendly, always accommodating. But to hear him call NASCAR Cup race has stepped it up a notch. And so far, so good for me with Letarte and Burton blending in with Lee Diffie.
Agreed.
I'm such a Letarte fan because he's human. He makes mistakes, and he doesn't go bananas crazy for a certain instance, but you could just see a Letarte crew chief and how he would be reacting in the race if he was up on the box with Dale Jr. or somebody during the race. Freak Nation, listen, man, it's a big show. Coming up, we've got Alex Palou. We've got Will Power. We've got Leah Pruett joining us here in the Freak Nation. Shelby Ebert, the fastest woman on water when it comes to drag boats. And she's got herself another championship. She's going to be joining us this hour. So it's a big Speed Freaks on MAV TV and the Freak Radio Network. Be sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, on Facebook. The website, speedfreaks.tv. We're going to hear from Kyle Busch. We're going to hear more from Chase Briscoe, your NASCAR Cup winner from Sunday night. And Harrison Burton, again, finished in the 21 spot. More Freaks coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAV TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAV TV Go has something for everyone. MAV TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
This freaking segment is brought to you by our friends at Lucas Oil. Now, what automobile do you have in the garage? I bet Lucas Oil could keep that thing fat and happy and on the road. From everyday car care, heavy-duty trucking to agriculture, hot rods, classic cars, motorcycles, and marine, Lucas Oil has what you need to keep those engines, interiors, and exteriors looking like and running like they're supposed to be. For more information, go to the website, lucasoil.com, and find the perfect Lucas Oil product. Keep your rides on the road. Freak Nation, here's a quick question for you. Would you have rather been Kyle Busch or would you rather have been Chase Briscoe prior to getting the checkered? Do you like to be chased or do you like to chase? I know we all have idiosyncrasies about certain questions that involve being chased or chasing something, but I thought about that during those last 5-6 laps. Who's on the edge more, Kyle Busch or Chase Briscoe? Chase Briscoe has the lead. He wins, he's in. Kyle Busch, he wins, he's in. And all of this coming on the heels of all this conversation about Chris Buescher and Bubba Wallace. Oh my God, we couldn't hear enough of it. But then out of nowhere, Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch is the story. So, Stat, I ask you 2 questions. One is, where was the bigger pressure, Kyle Busch or Chase Briscoe for that win on Sunday night in Darlington?
Oh, I think without question it was with Kyle Busch. He had not only the opportunity to get into the championship this year, but he had 19 straight years of winning. He could still win this year, but and he's been in the playoffs like 11 straight years, but he was in second place. And personally, I'd rather be in first place and come get me. You have to catch me, but you have to get around me. And in NASCAR, the car could be as wide as the infield to the 5th row. And nobody gets around without crashing and sending debris into the parking lot. So I would rather be the chasee instead of the chaser.
All right. Well, he answered both questions there. Crasher, what about you? Who had the most pressure, Kyle Busch or Chase Briscoe?
I feel like my gut instinct tells me that it was probably Chase Briscoe because he knew he had to hold off a very hard charging Kyle Busch. And in a sense, yes, Kyle had this 19-year streak that he wants to eventually make 20. And like you said, there are more opportunities, 10 more opportunities this year. It likely will happen because there's 3 tracks coming up. Atlanta, where he got 3rd place by 0.007 seconds. That is next. Talladega, which he's the defending winner of, and Bristol. He's notoriously good at Bristol as well. So there's a very good chance that he will still keep that streak alive. But I kind of feel like the new Kyle Busch is just kind of, hey, I'm going to go for it. But if I don't get it, this is kind of what I was planning coming into these last couple of weeks anyway. The season hasn't been so good. Whereas Briscoe's like, oh my God, I got to hold on to this. I got to make this work. Just my opinion, though.
Okay. What about you? Where would you have rather been?
Oh, I would rather be the chaser because the first thing I think of is cops in my rearview mirror. Like, oh, God, got to hold them off. So I don't like that. I'd rather be the one chasing.
First thing I think of is cops in my rearview mirror. Oh,
Spoken from a person with many speeding tickets, yes.
Yeah, that little blue car you used to have years ago. Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, they weren't stopping her for speeding. They were stopping her for help.
They were stopping her for oiling up the freeway.
Yes. Right. Sorry, 405.
Richie, what about you, bud?
First of all, I think that more pressure was on Chase Briscoe. He's taking over from Martin Truex Jr. next year. Did y'all know that?
True.
Did y'all know that? So he's moving up in the world. He's moving up. He's getting a big time ride. And with Joe Gibbs Racing starting next year, Stewart Haas is closing its doors after this season. So this very well could have been the last win for Stewart Haas Racing as an organization before it changes its name and moves into being called Haas again. It was only his 2nd career win. So this is a big deal for Chase Briscoe, who hasn't really accomplished much at the Cup Series level. Whereas Kyle Busch, we were talking before the show, this guy has over 200 wins across all 3 top 3 series, right? He's done everything. He's a champion. He doesn't really have much to race for this year other than extending his consecutive years of winning races streak. So to me, the pressure was on Chase Briscoe, and he had it right. He was out front. He was like, come and get me. And that's where I'd rather be, is like, especially on a racetrack like Darlington, where there's not many lanes there, right? It's basically a one lane racetrack where you have to like really be ballsy to try and get around guys in that high line. And so I'd rather be Chase Briscoe, and he crushed it. And I honestly, on that last, as Kyle Busch was chasing him down, I thought Kyle was going to catch him, and he didn't. And he did it. And Chase, as we played the sound back in the first segment, where he's talking about like, man, I never had to drive a car like that. It was like driving back in my sprint car days. And man, he wheeled that thing, and he deserved that victory for sure.
Mitchell, Indiana is proud.
I go back to my days as a kicker in high school, and the pressure of making certain kicks where there was no pressure, I was gold. You kidding me? But how many times I sat on the sideline going, please don't let this come down to my kick to win the damn game. Please. So I would have rather have been Kyle Busch chasing him and not the pressure of Chase Briscoe to hold somebody off, because I would have been like Crasher looking at that rearview mirror going, ah! And then freaking tagging the wall. I couldn't focus.
Which he did. He did once. He's actually twice. I think he scraped the wall in those last 10 laps. So yeah, there was a little bit of that, but he still handled it quite nicely.
And I go with Richie on that too, with Chase Briscoe. And again, media, the coverage, you get a hold of a story and you run with it. And it's 300 something employees of Stewart Haas Racing closing the doors. They don't have jobs. The importance of this win. But I don't know. Do you really think Chase Briscoe's going?
Do it for the employees.
There's $320 Scott Busch. How many employees do we have? I'm going to win this thing. Hell no, he's not thinking about the employees. He's thinking about keeping a 2-time Cup champion off his ass and trying to get around. And also getting back to the whole Letarte Burton thing. They were telling me things that I have no idea. Yeah. They were telling me why why Chase Briscoe was trying to where he was trying to take the air away from Kyle, and why Kyle was doing
the high line, the middle line,
all of that. That was just awesome. And when you Crash, Richie, yours truly, we've always said that. I don't care if it's you're throwing bags or you're throwing the basketball, you're driving a race car. Just tell me what's going on. Something I don't know that's going on, why it's happening. And
why? That's the big key. Why is this happening? And what makes it significant to what's going on visually on the track? Yeah. Yep.
I don't want to make this a rabbit hole, but somebody else is doing that while I'm thinking of it. Is another friend of the Freaks, Tony Pedregon. Drag racing. I am so proud of him. I just want to tell him all the time, tell me something else I don't know. And he's knocking it out of the park. But that's a rabbit hole. It's not a rabbit hole.
That's a very good comparison. NHRA races are very pleasant to watch because of the insight that Tony Pedregon gives. So yeah, thumbs up. Good job, Stan.
And actually the relationship, sorry, you dug the hole. Got to go. You saw it Monday afternoon. If you watched the finals on Fox,
the U.S. Nationals,
the relationship that he has with current drivers, there was a banter back and forth between him and Ron Capps. And both of them were telling me, someone who's been following drag racing for 50 years, they just shared 2 minutes worth of something about that race car and why Ron's going to do this, why the horsepower's down. I had no idea. But yeah, being able to communicate those messages to people that were like, what? Huh? So again, getting back to Chase Briscoe, my goodness, man, that rear view mirror, driving by your rear view, that was an instance of driving by your rear view mirror. And then imagine this, driving by your rear view mirror and having someone in your ear, having a spotter and your crew chief in your ear telling you things, and maybe you talking back to him. I would be one. I think would I be one of those guys who would just shut up, man? I'm trying to drive a race car.
Yeah, I don't know that he was driving with his rear view because he was so far ahead most of that time. And the 1 or 2 laps where Busch got close, maybe that's when somebody said, all right, he's 2 car lengths back and so forth. But I'm with you, Kenny. If somebody's screaming at me for 10 or 15 straight laps, he's getting close, don't do it, it's gotta know what to do, he's gonna get you. No, I just say, I just turn the radio off and you can scream at yourself or the guy next.
If a spotter sounds like that, they should be fired immediately.
So what about you, Freak Nation? Would you have rather been the chaser or the chasee? Would you rather have been, again, not determining who wins or loses the race, just in that instance, those last 5 laps or so, would you have rather, is your personality more like a Kyle Busch in that situation where you want to chase somebody or you want to be chased? Coming up next, Freak Nation, the IndyCar series ran 2 times in Milwaukee, and they're running out of feet to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Pato who? We'll get to that. Also, Shelby Ebert. She is the fastest woman on water in a drag boat. It's all coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Your Statman Scat, brought to you by STEM Stories, When Racing Goes to School and Grows Up, by Bill Wood, a.k.a. Statman. Now look, motorsports are at a crossroads, and out of the cloudy future, however, comes STEM education. Motorsports are the perfect vehicle to teach science, technology, engineering, and math to the next generation of racing fans. Get a copy of STEM Stories now at Amazon.com.
An IndyCar story this week pits series drivers against the front office. The issue is Mexico. Everyone's disappointed after NASCAR announced a race where IndyCar wants to put on a show south of the border. Popular Mexican driver Pato O'Ward led the soundbite war. IndyCar chief Mark Miles had weak responses for the drivers and fans, especially admitted the series was depending on a driver's father to handle talks in Mexico, where IndyCar wants a partner to put on an event. Even worse, the race in Milwaukee Sunday had difficulties. The series points leader was left on the sidelines when the race started under yellow. Cars crashed at the green, and all of that was played out in front of woefully empty Milwaukee grandstands. To the credit of points leader Alex Palou and his crew, they figured out what was wrong with his car and got back in the race some 27 laps down. Will Power, the man chasing Palou for the 2024 title, was running and was up 3 points for the championship with one race left. But he had problems, nearly hit the wall, and ended up 33 points behind Palou going to Nashville, the last race in 2 weeks. Sounds dramatic, but watching, you wondered who'd want to partner with the series presenting confusion, 10-year-old cars, and not enough fans. Peace.
I will admit I was in Wheatland, Missouri, population 388, in the middle of Missouri, for the KDBA, the Kentucky Drag Boat Association World Finals, and didn't see 1 second of the IndyCar race. But
races,
sorry. But what I read, and now being backed up by Statman Scat, and actually our text thread, we did have a pretty good text thread going about the IndyCar races. Help me out here, Richie, Statman. You've got 2 races in Milwaukee. You have stands that are more than half empty, and you're hoping to put on a good show. And
hold on. Before I'm cutting you off for a reason. It depends on what you consider a good show. Now, driver errors all over the place on both races, that happens everywhere, and that is not a good look on the series. But when you're talking about 763 on-track passes, and that was in the Sunday race, there were more than around 650 on-track passes in the first race. The racing package was legit. I think just like St. Louis, Jay Fry and his group put together a good package with just the right amount of tire degradation and the racing assembly. Let's not even get into the hybrid issues that also plagued the second race of the weekend. But overall, the competition side of things was amazing. So you can't say that wasn't entertaining.
Okay, well, you teed it up perfectly. You read my mind.
Okay.
My point was going to be, with those numbers, the racing was evidently quite passy. Why all this negativity coming out of this race, though? When you've got the hybrid issues, you've got Mark Miles issues, and if you're not familiar with Mark Miles, he toes the line for Roger Penske for the IndyCar series.
You can say he's IndyCar CEO.
Okay, there you go. Well, okay,
president.
Yeah, regardless, and couldn't get out of the way of himself with some of the comments regarding Mexico and the attendance coming into Milwaukee. When I saw a quote from Mark Miles saying, "We'll be happy with 15,000," what? Huh?
Yeah, you'll be huh?
What the hell's happening here?
He says that the day before action happens on track, we'll be happy with 15,000 per day. And then they end up announcing 40,000 for the weekend. So, hey, 20,000 a day. He was just 5,000 off. But that with local people from Milwaukee just littering social media saying, I didn't even know there was a race. Mm-hmm. Where's the promotion? And then Pato O'Ward, in the middle of all this Mexico controversy, why is IndyCar not beating NASCAR to the punch down there in Mexico City? Pato O'Ward says, maybe this billboard explains things. He's driving into the Milwaukee Mile. He's an IndyCar driver. He looks up and he sees a billboard that says, NASCAR returns to the Milwaukee Mile.
Ooh.
Makes sense of that.
And wasn't it the crew members that said they were at a restaurant a mile or two from the track and the people from the restaurant had no idea that an IndyCar race was going on?
Mm-hmm.
Richie, why such negativity about a race according to Crash was fairly exciting?
Yeah, I mean, I thought both IndyCar races were actually really entertaining. I thought they did their job, and Crash was right. Like, for whatever reason, the oval package in IndyCar this year has been terrific, whereas opposed to the post-hybrid kind of street and road courses have been, very mixed. But like, yeah, I was entertained as heck. I thought they were both great IndyCar shows. So, but anytime you step on your own foot, like Mark Miles did, and you basically, I'm going to put this in kind of other sports terms. Basically, what Mark Miles did here, and tell me if I'm wrong in this comparison, is imagine if Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, said publicly that Patrick Mahomes isn't as big a star as y'all want him to be, right? If name a star in any sport, right? Gary Bettman, the worst commissioner in all of sports, says that Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby are not as big as stars.
Well, pick an athlete that hasn't won a championship, Richie.
Oh, because Pato hasn't won. Because we're referring to Mark Miles saying Pato Award. The reason we're not in Mexico City is because Pato's just not a big enough draw. Okay.
So, Dak Prescott hasn't won a championship, so you could use him.
You could use him.
Richie.
I would disagree with that because I think Pato Award is the most popular driver in IndyCar right now.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was doing some research before the show, and I was looking at people who were talking about his merch sales, and going back to Long Beach this week in Milwaukee, like people everywhere are in the papaya orange, whether that be for the McLaren IndyCar team or it would be for the Formula One team. Like people love Pato, people love that Aero McLaren, the McLaren brand. And so I think that's why I make the Patrick Mahomes comparison is like, he's the biggest name in the NFL right now, like it or love it or hate it, whatever. And nobody else in American pro sports is going to do that and come out and talk crap about one of their athletes and it not be the biggest story on sports talk radio the entire week.
True.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that is essentially what Mark Miles did with the most popular IndyCar driver in the series, saying he wasn't good enough. Essentially, we're paraphrasing, wasn't good enough to help IndyCar land a race in Mexico City. That Mexico City said no. Okay, but Daniel Suarez and Pato Award basically have the same fan base. This doesn't make any sense.
But is Pato Award enough? Is Pato Award? I don't know. Pato Award's from Monterey. He's not from.
He's come on. The country loves him. The entire country of Mexico.
But will he put 50,000 people in a stadium?
There were people that flew straight from Mexico, the country of Mexico, to Milwaukee, of all places, this weekend. Yeah, that was not an exclusive Midwest crowd. There were people that flew from his country to see him. Mark Miles needs, the entire executive team needs to understand that. That is real. Yes, Pato can draw.
You're not going to fly to Watkins Glen. You're not going to fly to Laguna Seca.
You're going to fly to Milwaukee.
You're going to fly to Milwaukee, Statman?
All the people that are flying to Milwaukee, including the people who live next door to Milwaukee, they only had, what'd you say, Crash? 20,000 people a day?
Approximately. They're claiming 40,000 on the weekend.
They didn't get 50. They want 50,000. They didn't get 50,000 in 2 days.
Valid.
So, he might be popular, but that might be IndyCar popular. He's not NASCAR popular. He's not a lot of racing series popular. I have my own reasons why I don't think he's strong enough, but I had the nervous of some people in the story I read that they wanted to compare him to Adrian Fernandez. Adrian Fernandez has been, he was a friend of the Freaks for a few years when he was really racing, but Adrian Fernandez, before social media was as big as it is now, Adrian Fernandez had built a huge fan base, and people were standing in line to come see him, get his autograph, and all the other stuff. I just don't think that he's strong enough, and evidently the people in Mexico who live around his so-called fans don't think he's strong enough either to bring in IndyCar on a solo weekend. They said, if you want to rent the track, cool, we'll rent it to you. But they're not going to partner with them to bring somebody in.
Now, just to add another wrinkle to this, I'm going to read Jenna Fryer's tweet verbatim. A new wrinkle, she sent this on September 1st, a new wrinkle in the power of the Pato Who IndyCar chatter is that talks with Mexico City are now officially up and running.
Freak Nation, she is the fastest woman on water in a drag boat. She's got a couple of championships, more than that. And she joins us next, Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This segment's brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Now through the end of October, how about $100 back with a Visa prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying light truck SUV General Tires? Again, now through the end of October, you buy 4 qualifying SUV light truck tires, bam, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. For more information, go to generaltire.com. That's generaltire.com. What is it, about 20 years now? I currently cover the Kentucky Drag Boat Association, which you can see on MAV TV. And one of those that I've been sticking a mic in front of and a camera in front of her name is Shelby Ebert. She is a 2024 Pro Outlaw Series champion. She's a 2022 Pro Mod Series drag boat champion. She's gone 187 miles per hour, straight line on water, the quickest woman on water in drag boats. And she's just kicking the bejesus out of men in drag boats. And it hasn't been easy. I spent some good time with her Sunday afternoon at Wheatland, Missouri, Lucas Oil Speedway, and the Lucas Oil drag strip. It's Shelby Ebert. Enjoy this. Joining us now, Speed Freaks Pit and the Lucas Oil Studios. Something that you've been chasing since I've been putting a microphone in front of your face is consistency, and you seem to have found that. Is that more in the driver or just the crew you have around you that putting the things in this engine that give you something comfortable to hop into?
I think it's both, I mean, these guys consistently put a 520 in it. They always do. I mean, especially this weekend, we ran 2 22s, a 23, a 20 perfect. And that's pretty crazy. But it's really here, I've also found my consistency. I've cut good lights all weekend. I cut good lights all year here. I think it's the track being exactly the same every single time. Whereas when you go other places like San Angelo or Grove or wherever, they have to set it up and it's different. So here it's just a perfect atmosphere to be able to cut a consistent light. And I've just, over the years, been able to figure it out, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, these guys, I can't say enough about them. I mean, 520 perfect yesterday and multiple 22s, 23s, and you can't get better than that. I'll take it all day.
I think I've been here for all of your championships, and you get emotional at every one of them once you win that thing, and given what you've been through, and it's not lost on a lot of us that you're a woman kicking the ass of a lot of men in this series. Okay, all of them are men. Is it lost on you, or is it still, you still understand the importance of that?
No, I 100% understand the importance of it. I mean, every I'm going to cry, but every single little girl that comes up and says, I just love you, like, you're amazing, and that means the world to me. And it's not lost on me that all these guys are, don't like to lose to me. I think we have a good relationship. I really do. I have a good relationship with all my competitors, but I know that when we go up there, they don't like me. And that's okay. I don't need to be liked. They can like me back here. They don't have to like me up there. I'd rather be respected than really well liked. And I know that they all respect me, and that's the goal, to gain the respect of your competitors, to be good enough, to have that respect. that's what I've been chasing my entire career, especially in the pro boats. Because when we first started, we were a duck. I mean, everybody, they knew when I lined up against them, they knew they had a pretty good shot at winning. And now they know they don't have a really good shot at winning. And that's been my goal. I mean, what else could you want, you know?
Simple question. What's been harder to get, the championship or the respect?
The respect, 100%. There have been times that it's been very obvious that I'm not well liked, and that's okay. I mean, I don't need to be, but that's definitely been harder. But I think at this point, I do have the respect of everybody. You know, we don't have to be best friends. I am friends with a lot of these guys. We're really close. This boat racing family is like my own family. But I know some of them are huge fans of me, and that's okay. But I know that they respect me, and that means more to me than anything else. But
But isn't that their problem?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that their problem?
Yeah.
I don't know the goings on behind the scenes here because I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's a girl. I think some of them have previously stated that they think I'm spoiled and I got everything handed to me, and they don't see the hard work behind the scenes. They don't see what I've done to get here, what my family has done to get here. I mean, there's a lot of hard work that gets put in to make this happen, and so they don't see that part. But I think they don't like getting beat by a girl. But to me, I'm just like them. When I'm out there in that capsule, I'm no different. Just because I'm a female and they're male, it shouldn't matter, because I'm a driver, they're a driver, and we're going to go do our best to beat each other, and whoever wins is who wins. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's basketball or football. We have a mechanical thing that we're driving, and it's completely fair. So I think it gets under their skin that I'm a girl, but I don't think it should. I mean, maybe if the roles were reversed, I'd feel the same way. I don't know. I'll never know. But I think I intimidate a lot of people, a lot of the guys, and I don't mean to. That's not the goal. I don't try to get in their heads or anything like that. But I think they do think twice. They're like, oh, we're running against Shelby. I know they know that they have to cut a good light. I know they have to run a good number to beat us. And that goes back to the respect thing. They know they have to bring their A game to beat us.
This sounds archaic about what I'm about to say, but having a wife that's been in the business for 24 years, I've watched it happen. But watching a competent, successful, good-looking, well-spoken woman can be intimidating to men. Yeah. And it's like there's 3 or 4 things there. Basically says, kiss my butt. I am who I am. Yeah. Like it or not, I'm going to go to that starting line and beat your butt.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, honestly, I am who I am. It's like I said, they don't have to like it, but I'm not going anywhere. I mean, they're still going to have to go up against me. If they face me first round, they're going to have to. It is what it is.
Don't they understand, though, how many women can claim a pro championship in drag boats? How many women? You tell me.
I don't know the answer to that.
That's my point. Neither do they.
That's right.
They should relish in the fact that they have a woman winning championships in a series that's been dominated by men. They should relish and welcome this.
My thing is, a lot of them have daughters, and I think that a lot of their kids love me, which is great. But they might not like when I beat them, but the experience that you're showing your daughters, the respect that you're showing me to show your daughters that's how you should be treated as well. So if their daughters end up in my position someday, that they deserve the respect from their competitors. So the way they act towards me is a direct reflection of what they're teaching their children. And like I said, a lot of these guys are wonderful, but I'm not going to act like there hasn't been hard times, because there has. People have tried to get me kicked out of races because of things that we've done and just running too fast or whatever. And it's been hard, but I've had the same core people around me, and they know who I am. My parents know who I am. They know the core of me, that I'm a good person, that I've worked my ass off for this. And that's all that I care about. As long as the people around me that are my core are proud of me, nothing else matters.
The good news is I don't get tired of seeing your mom and dad, and you wouldn't be here without them. And I don't want to take away anything from your mother, but especially your father, and really how he's worked his way up into being a successful championship driver, and you being able to lean on what he's done as a driver. Now, things outside the boat, I'll give all the credit to Mom, but inside that boat, that's Dad.
Oh yeah, no, I would not be here without my dad. He's been racing for 35 years. He has 10 plus championships, a crazy amount of race wins, and he's just my best friend. He's amazing.
Stop it! You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry.
No, I know, but he retired so we could focus on this. He gave up his dream so we could focus on this, because this is his dream too. And now we have 2 championships in this, and I'm just so proud of the hard work that everybody's put in, but my dad especially. I mean, he owns a business. He works hard all week, works hard on this, and then we come here and we try to kick ass, and we kick ass. And I'm just happy that, proud of all these people. Proud is the only word that I can come up with, because, years ago this was the dream, and now we have 2 of them, and we won 3 races this year, 3 out of 4. I mean, how does that happen? We won last Labor Day, so we won 4 in a row. I mean, stuff like that just doesn't happen because all of my competitors are so tough. So I'm just so proud of everything we've been able to accomplish, especially my parents, my team, me as a driver. I mean, a couple of races I wasn't super good, but this weekend I was good. The first race in Wheatland I was good, and just incredibly proud to be able to drive this thing.
What do you do now? You just continue to drive in this class, just rack up the championships, and then manufacture this into something that benefits another team and other female drivers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I want more race wins. It never gets old. The championships don't get old. The wins don't get old. I mean, today I'm so disappointed because we didn't win, even though we've won 3 out of 4. How stupid is that? I mean, I can't win all of them. But I definitely want more wins. I want more championships. I want to rack them up. So I'm not going anywhere. Someday I'd like to, have a family, and that might pause it for a while. But definitely not going anywhere.
What'd I tell you? Shelby's a rock star. Coming up next, speaking of she, Leah Pruett. She joins us, and more from IndyCar series and Pato Award and his popularity. That's next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plan starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks, motorsports radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Chase, how much of this was for you and how much of this was for the 300-plus employees at Stewart-Haas who don't have a job at the end of the year?
Both. Last week was the most embarrassing race I've ever ran in my life, and I told Richard, I said, I don't even want to talk about it. I promise you I will make it up to you next week. And just, man, everybody knows I'm a diehard Tony Stewart fan, and to get this 14 car back in victory lane and, for all 320 something employees to be able to race for a championship in their final year is, unbelievable. So, yeah, God is just so good. It's like deja vu there at the end with Kyle with the Xfinity race here in 2020, and I was so loose. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it.
Chase Briscoe is now in the playoffs, Freak Nation, of what he did. He drove that car. He willed that car to a race win, is now in the playoffs. Good for him, Freak Nation. And second hour of the Freaks coming up, Leah Pruett. So much Leah Pruett. We're going to turn it into a two-parter coming up
Speaking
this
of
hour.
Tony Stewart.
Yeah. Tony Stewart's wife, the mother of Tony Stewart's eventual son, and just one badass drag racer. She will be here in the Freak Nation. But watching that Chase Briscoe interview reminds me of a couple of things. One is he gets the notice that he's out of a ride. This is prior to him getting the ride, of course, with Joe Gibbs Racing and Martin Truex ride. It's the word he's out of a ride with Stewart-Haas next year. Looks over at his wife, who's going to have twins. And he's got a son, as you can tell there, was probably 3 years old, which freaking left his old man hanging on a couple of high fives. But the pressure of a driver, a person, to have his wife, you've got twins coming, man. And I know these guys make a crap ton of money. I get all that. But all that aside, the pressure of being a father, being present as a father, currently with a son, and then two more coming, and not having a job? Come on, man. Good job. Chase Briscoe. And he's the biggest Tony Stewart fan. When we had him on the first time, when he accepted the gig 4 years ago, whenever it was we had him on, I think he started crying then about how big of a fan he is with Tony Stewart. So, sorry, I digress.
He's got his jersey, his Home Depot jersey on his wall or something like that, yeah.
You see, I got no problem with him in the playoffs. By the way.
Hold on. Where was he in points before?
A ton better than Harrison Burton. Right, Richie?
Yes, not dead last. Not dead last.
Not dead last.
34th, like Harrison Burton was before he won Daytona.
So congratulations, Chase Briscoe. You earned your way into those freaking playoffs. And said it first hour, I am loving me some NBC. Fox, you got a lot to live up to with Diffie, Letarte, and Burton. It made the 4 hours feel like 3.5.
And that's a compliment?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, still got to get beyond that. Yeah, golly, they got to do a little better than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to hear that, man. Just say ye golly for 2 hours. Look, I had nowhere to go Sunday night. I was stuck on two airplanes coming back from Missouri. So I got to watch a lot of that freaking race and aggravate the guy next to me who does documentaries for Discovery Channel.
No way.
Oh, yeah. He was probably trying to watch some damn documentary on the receding oceans in Bahrain. And okay, anyway. And I'm over there. He would. What's going on, man?
That makes you the worst person to fly next to.
Yeah.
Please. I was talking to somebody about that last night, about having a terrible experience about somebody playing the LSU fight song while they were flying out somewhere over this past weekend, like loudly on a plane.
Well, good. They got their ass kicked too. Sunday night.
They were playing fight on at the end of that game.
Is this where we're going to say, by the Big Ten?
Yeah.
I mean, are we there?
Right.
So weird to me still.
And the stat man and I, we're about an hour and 5 minutes into our show. We haven't talked about Ohio State. We haven't talked about the Longhorns.
Yeah.
But Statman, you got a freaking receiver who I think just started shaving. He's like 14 years old. That's already a freaking contender for the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, the way they're going to beat the drum, they're also going to beat the drum for his quarterback, Will Howard. Ohio State, they haven't proved anything to anybody because they beat Akron, for crying out loud.
There are a lot of cupcake teams this weekend.
They got a couple more games before they get serious. A couple more JV games before they get serious.
All right, Freak Nation, bringing it back to motorsports. We talked about the IndyCar series last hour and how they continue to trip over themselves, or as Richie says, what did you say, Richie? Step on their foot? No, they step on something. They trip over their own feet. They step on something, if you know what I mean. They step on their...
Yes.
Okay.
You just said they have nothing more to shoot.
Picking up what you're putting down there.
They have no more feet to shoot.
Oh, yeah, you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. And you said they have no more feet to shoot.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was playing off something that was correct.
Yes.
So Pato O'Ward stepped in it and wallowed in it when NASCAR said, man, we're going to Mexico. And we're going to Mexico next year. Pato O'Ward being a very...
By the way, we freaks have been telling you that since June.
Mm-hmm.
We got the tip on this in June, and I don't know why nobody was really listening. I'm like, okay, well then just wait. When NASCAR releases their schedule, I'm telling you, it's not IndyCar, it's NASCAR going.
Right.
Because there was a lot of vitriol this week. Oof.
So NASCAR is headed to Mexico. IndyCar is not. And a lot of folks thought that IndyCar would be in Mexico, be back in Mexico before NASCAR would. Nope, didn't happen. Pato O'Ward is a pretty freaking popular driver in his country, in Mexico. And Pato, again, stepped in it, wallowed in it, and went after it and said, basically, you effed up, IndyCar. What's the problem here? NASCAR, really? They get a gig there before we do? Yeah, that's how it happened. Mm-hmm. And it continued to be the lead story over the weekend in Milwaukee. And during the post-race press conference of the first race, with congratulations to Connor Daly, by the way, for getting a podium. Yeah. With Pato O'Ward winning the race, Will Power. Then
there was no better way to silence that story than Pato. Well, kind of silence the story than Pato going on and winning.
Yep.
And saying, "What you got now?" And then putting a sombrero on his head.
Speaking of, during the post-race press conference, Will Power, love the guy, and I love him even more when he does things like this. And a reminder, the executives with IndyCar are cringing when Pato steps up and talks about why were we first in Mexico.
We should be in Mexico City, not NASCAR.
Oh, no! Wait, what?
I say we should be in Mexico City, yeah?
Yeah. Pato who?
Oh.
Fernandez? What? Huh? Yeah.
And Richie checked me on something. I thought maybe Mark Miles was right. Mark Miles believes that Pato O'Ward, and I'm paraphrasing here, Mr. Miles, Pato O'Ward is not popular enough. He doesn't believe that Pato O'Ward is popular enough to sell that many seats to warrant IndyCar going to Mexico. And Richie, you set me straight. Kyle Larson is more popular than Pato O'Ward is in the United States. But well, I don't know. You know what? I don't know if that's a fact.
We think it's a fact. We think he's the most popular American driver currently.
Just look at our YouTube numbers, ladies and gentlemen. People love themselves some Kyle Larson.
They love Kyle Larson.
But if you get outside of our borders, and let's just use Instagram, which is Statman's measurement stick for all things popularity. Let's use Instagram and the numbers for Pato Award. Richard C. Suave?
He has 692,000 followers on Instagram.
Who does?
Pato Award.
Pato, 692. Okay. 692,000.
Well, Kyle Larson certainly has, that plus
it's got to be that.
300,000 more?
372,000.
What?
He's 300,000 less followers than Pato Award.
Correct.
Kyle freaking Larson. Okay.
The best driver in the world. Everybody loves. He's never been better. Everybody thinks he's the best driver anywhere.
370 what?
372.
Well, but NASCAR, Daniel Suarez certainly has more.
Okay. Because that's the thing. This was Daniel Suarez versus Pato Award. NASCAR with Daniel Suarez, IndyCar with Pato Award. Clearly, NASCAR and Daniel Suarez will be a bigger draw.
Daniel's Amigos. We know we love ourselves some Daniel's Amigos, one of the greatest fan bases in NASCAR. 175,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
That's a wake-up call.
I'm not having beers anytime soon with Pato Award, even if he asked me. But dude's got some pulling power, man.
Wow.
Like, I never thought I would rely on Instagram to be the go-to for my decision-making.
Well, you never thought you'd have to rely on athletes of a series to do the actual marketing for the series. And clearly that's what Pato Award is doing. How many Instagram followers does IndyCar have?
Let me look it up. I do have a couple other drivers. Alex Palou, two-time champion, 101,000.
Okay.
Greatest of all time, currently still driving, Scott Dixon, 162,000.
Yeah, not much.
How many does IndyCar have?
How many does IndyCar have as a series?
I don't have it pulled up, dude. Come on.
I'll say 300,000.
I'll say 500.
Come on, Richie.
Dude, I can't type that quickly, okay? Jimmy Christmas.
We got 20 seconds.
672,000.
Oh, Pato Award has 20,000 more Instagram followers than the entire series of IndyCar.
Freak Nation, she's a badass. She's married to Tony Stewart, about to have his baby boy. And she's out of a race car, but she's one of the baddest persons on the planet. And we spent some good time with her. Leah Pruett next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAV TV Go has something for everyone. MAV TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This freaking segment is brought to you by our friends at Lucas Oil. Now, what automobile do you have in the garage? I bet Lucas Oil could keep that thing fat and happy and on the road. From everyday car care, heavy-duty trucking to agriculture, hot rods, classic cars, motorcycles, and marine, Lucas Oil has what you need to keep those engines, interiors, and exteriors looking like and running like they're supposed to be. For more information, go to the website, lucasoil.com, and find the perfect Lucas Oil product. Keep your rides on the road. Freak Nation, anytime I get a chance to catch up with Tony Stewart or his wife, Leah Pruett, it's always fantastic. I've known Leah Pruett for, about 20 years, and watching her work her way up through the ranks has been fantastic. Now she's with child, going to give birth sometime in November to Tony Stewart's first son. And of course, she's out of the race car, wants to get back in the race car, maybe 2026. But catching up with Leah Pruett, as I said, it's always fantastic. She's straightforward, does not mess around with a lot of her comments, but watching the relationship between her and Tony Stewart is awesome. Here's Crash and yours truly with Leah Pruett. Now, Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. As a person that's sitting outside of a car watching her car go down the track, where are you now here at the U.S. Nationals versus the first race of the year watching your car go down the track?
Well, I'm thankful that we're all the way pregnant. I'm over 7 months pregnant, and so when I miss being in the car like I do this race, I go, okay, all right, there's bigger, better kind of things coming down the pipe. But actually coming into this race, I was trying to remember, when's the last time I didn't race the U.S. Nationals? And it brought me back to, I think, 2010. I was working on a car, Brian Thiel funny car, but since then I'd raced pro mods, or whether it be for Dote Racing, Don Schumacher for those years, and I'm like now Tony Stewart Racing. So it makes me very appreciative of what the sport's given me to be able to step out of it. But it really does suck just watching. Like, Tony's doing great in the car. He doesn't really need my coaching anymore, unless he has questions. I work with the crew chiefs on the car side of things, but I'm in this weird limbo time of like, all right, pregnancy's underway. The crews are running well. We're getting ready for the countdown. And I guess I just got to get ready for my countdown.
Do you find that you're more adjusted now, months later after watching the car go down the track? You're not ready to step in the car now? You've mentally relinquished those duties?
I have relinquished them. I let myself enjoy being outside of the car instead of like agonizing about missing it. I let myself, enjoy being out. But then just recently I thought about, no, I need to keep sharp. I need to keep in that zone for when I get back in. Don't know when that'll be. Don't know if it's next, whatever. 26 probably more than likely. But I don't want to get back in the car and be like, oh man, this feels like 2 years. I need it to feel like it was yesterday. So I balance, enjoying this other side of it, but then also that eagerness and that adaptability, so when I get back in, it's exactly how I left it. If you got any tips on that, let me know.
Go through that process, because you are extremely fit and you wakeboard. You do all these things outside of the cockpit that keep you physically fit. And that's half the battle, isn't it? So as long as you're continuing doing that sort of regimen, you're good.
I would like to think so, but I didn't realize how much being pregnant would take away from those activity type lifestyle things. I don't wake surf, just there's certain measurements, there's certain periods in pregnancy of what you can and can't do. And I think we've just put so much on the line. I've invested my career and put that on hold that I'm trying to give this baby the best shot it possibly can of making it through. So, man, no one told me, as you know, pregnancy is 10 months.
Yeah, that's the biggest lie out there. It's not 9 months for you ladies that are trying.
Exactly. It's not. It's 10 months. It's 40 weeks. And I thought I was a big energetic person, and it has just sucked all my energy out. So trying to figure out how to get that back safely, stay fit when you don't want to. And I've never not wanted to. I've always had the mental discipline to go after and have that drive to be fit for racing. And now that I don't have that for racing part, but I have it be a healthy mom part, but I don't have the energy, man, it's all wild. It's like from tuning a pro mod over here to tuning a nitro car. They're both very difficult, but they're completely separate. And I'm looking forward to getting back in. I like I said, there were never going to be any promises, but I can't imagine life without me driving. So I'm working on the business side of things. You know how Tony doesn't agree with this, but I do. I would like to build another team and be able for Tony and I to race against each other.
I wanted to talk to you about this. No, I wanted to talk to you about this, and I don't know why he's against this, but I want to hear your side first.
Yeah. Well, for one, we'll get down to brass tacks. The capital to build that team, doesn't come from absolutely nowhere, and Tony's already invested enough. So I've got to come up with a way to do that, and then also the funding of running the team. So I just got in a nice, good spot with partners to now start all over again. But I guess that's the journey of life. I don't see myself bringing Tony outside of the car after he's been in what I'm going to say 2 championship contentions, 24 and 25. So there's a lot of question marks. That's what keeps me up at night. Those are the moves that I make business-wise of like this long trajectory. What's going to happen 2-3 years from now? How do I position myself? Our team, my brand, what is the NHRA currently offering? What's our media package like to be able to bring these big retail partners in for the bigger picture? And that's really hard when you haven't even had the kid yet. So I don't know.
Well, there's certain things like mom juice. You're going to have an entire thing of strollers and diapers. That's going to go away after a few years. But there is a whole nother demographic of products that you can tap into, even through the stages of your child growing up.
I mean, I thought building a race team was difficult. That took a lot of people. Building a nursery, not real difficult, but man, you got to educate yourself on a lot of things you never knew existed. We've got nursery in Indy and in Arizona ready to rip, because not exactly sure. Anything can happen at any time, right? Over 7 months. So
here's what I don't like, though, is taking apart a stroller is worse than retuning a funny car or a top fuel car.
Well, it's been about 10 years or so since you had your little one. Now you just push a button and and then you just throw it in the back of the car. Like, your technology's gone a long way. But I think overall, man, I'm looking forward to making this very difficult decision in November. Can I make the World Finals being 10 months pregnant? That I really want to, because hopefully Matt and Tony are on championship lines. So I hope I'm hobbling around, water breaking on the starting line. I don't know, because the opposite of that would be me staying home and being uncomfortable and us not being in a chase. So I don't know. We'll all see together.
As we go on to those other sponsors, and Tony not necessarily wanting to have 2 top fuel cars, husband and wife lining up on the starting line, he made a comment recently about, if I beat her, I'll be on the couch for eternity. There's a whole nother level of sponsorship. Furniture! And who gets on the couch?
Right. I mean, the adjustable mattresses and everything. We have one now, so I keep my legs up so they don't swell themselves off. I don't know. He doesn't want to face that. And I mean, to be totally honest, I was married before to somebody on another team, that worked on another team, and I was constantly competing, and we competed like all the time, on the racetrack, off the racetrack. And so Tony, he knows about like what I lived through with that. And I told him, I'm like, this is 100% different. We're one team, all team. We are a team within a team, and being able to be a force all the way till you potentially, run each other. That's the greatest thing. There's Angie Smith and Matt Smith do it all the time, and I love them. And I just see this as another challenge that hopefully I could do something that create another opportunity of racing for us that I never thought I would need to, but that's what life's about.
I love
one of the things that you have to continue to think about as a boss person is this funny car behind us, that you've got to include Matt in all these conversations. Because I would imagine Matt, I don't care, we're human. It's like, uh-oh, what are they going to do next? Are they going to boot me out of the funny car so I can have 2 rails? These are conversations that you've got to have, I would imagine, to keep him at ease.
Well, yes, but you have to remember we are talking about Matt Hagan here, where he was the one that like begged Tony, you got to drive my funny car. You got to get in it. You got to warm it up. You got to drive it. And of course, Tony did, and he loved it. And he ran a couple 380s runs in Indy. This was last year. We're like, Matt, probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. What if Tony loved it? And he's like, Matt, get out. But of course, that's a testament to like, that's how we work, is having that transparency. And I would say we have all of these weekly calls, different programs between the 2 teams. Matt is solid. Dodge is solid with us. Funny cars. Also, Tony's not going to drive a funny car with a baby on the way. I mean, we've spoke about that. Matt is built for funny cars, and I don't see us as TSR existing without Matt Hagan and with Dodge's backing. So I pitched Matt as much as I pitched myself, because I pitched TSR as a whole in our 3 entities. So actually I had 2 big pitches last week, and I found myself like rehearsing my Matt Hagan speech and what his personality is like and all his accolades and everything. So yeah, Matt's definitely not left out of any type of picture, and he's a very good fit into like pretty much anybody that we're talking to.
Leah Pruett, she's a badass. That's why we've got a part 2 with Leah Pruett. That's right. The wife of Tony Stewart and a hell of a drag racer. More with Leah Pruett coming up. SpeedFreaks Pets and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
When I saw Tony on the golf course, we were talking about Matt, you, and of course him driving, and one of the things he talked about was he's surrounded by pros. You, Matt, 2 people that have won and have won consistency, and unlike other drivers that come into a series, they don't have the pros around him, and how advantageous that's been for him, and it shows with some of his races.
It took me a while to kind of absorb that and digest that. I thought, he's just being nice and, as he is. But as I thought about that more, I mean, he is right, but also he's selling himself a little bit short, where his talent base alone for how much he focuses on perfecting a craft, is, I think, really channeled to Tony Stewart and a few other ones in the world, right? How he is able to wrap his arms around whichever vehicle it is and maximize his driving potential. But I reflected upon my years in Top Fuel, and although I was teammates with people, that doesn't necessarily mean they're raising me in the sport. So I felt like I was paddling my own canoe for a long time from a driver's perspective. And you look at Tony, having Matt and myself and maybe even Antron and a couple other friends that he has, he's surrounded by great people. And that shows, again, what this sport is about. Nobody wanted Tony Stewart to come out here and sink. I mean, maybe some people did or whatever. But as a group, as a whole, is what's best for the sport. It is great for Tony to do well. And when he wins his first race, which who knows, right? Could be U.S. Nationals. That's going to be big overall. And some people might not love all the attention that Tony Stewart himself gets, but as a sport, it's so healthy for everybody. So to bring it back in, yes, Tony has a good support system, but also the sport as itself has been a good support system for him as well.
You talk about Tony being able to focus and really what he brings as a driver and a competitor. From your perspective, what is that he has? Because he wins in every damn thing he gets in.
It's really interesting. It's not time. It's not like he's making a ton of laps in iRacing with the other series or practicing on the practice tree over here. I've learned that's not his go-to. That's not his regimen. That's not how he becomes great. He becomes great because what he truly loves in life, he's gifted and able to do. You know, we all have passions, and maybe what your passion isn't what you were able to make an entire career out of. Tony's one of the 0.0001 percentiles from his love of racing karts as a kid to everything he did, about not what he ate or how he ate, but how he moved in any position he put himself into, was so that he could drive a car, because he just loved it so much. And that translates into drag racing. And so he doesn't feel this need to, like, I gotta practice or I gotta think about this some more. It's I want to live in this zone all the time. I want to be great, so I'm going to figure it out up here. I don't need to do all these other things. Where I was one of those, I need to do all these other things that's going to make me great. Work out over here, do mind tricks and neuropathy or whatever that's supposed to help me, where Tony works from the inside out instead of the outside in. And I hope that makes sense to anybody. It's because he doesn't have to, he doesn't have to will it to happen. It's already there. It's innate.
Let's give credit where credit's due, though, because he did come into this foreign type of motorsport to him, and you were the one that helped him channel that way of doing things differently in drag racing versus being up and endurance-based in NASCAR.
Yes, I definitely make him focus on specifically the routine of the car more than he wants to think about, because I know he needs to. Because you might drive an alcohol car during an off week and forget to turn the fuel on because you got comfortable, right? You don't get comfortable if you go over it in your mind on your way to the staging lanes. Like, I'm there kind of this, but just enough to where I'm not the annoying wife, but or like the leash is long enough to you hurt yourself and then I bring you back in. Yes, I've learned a lot from him. You don't need to over practice and overdo everything if you get it right the first time, and I don't know. I'm never going to be Tony Stewart as a driver, and but he's never going to be anyone else but him. So there's some things right now that I'd like him to work on, because now we're midway through the season, and until he asks for it, I'm not gonna. He knows it's there. There's some small things that I know that could help just a little bit, but he has to kind of like. He's got to ask for it, I guess, of like, okay, I'm having trouble with this. How do I fix it? I'm not going to go to him and go, I see this is happening. Do this, this, and this. Because we've done that once before, and it didn't change anything. So it's got to come, right? It's got to come from him, from the inside out.
That's actually a key thing in marriage. It's got to come from the guys. You can tell them as many times as you want, certain things you want done, and then when it's their idea suddenly, it happens. I'm just saying.
What is that? I thought you were going to end it on a high note, man. Hammering the man.
Am I wrong?
Man, so Tony went to an alcohol race the other week, and actually it was Joe Maynard, and I was talking with Joe and Brainerd, and he told me he was having the yips. And I told him what I would do when I had the yips and I needed to get away from it and how I fixed it. And so Joe cut a 30 light, and he texted me at the regional, and he's like, I'm in my 30s, I love it. And Tony tells me, he's like, you helped Joe out? And I go, listen, I'm here. I'm here.
Was he serious about that?
He said, don't help him too much. And listen, if I was good enough to actually help people get into 20s and 30s, there's a lot. There's so much that goes into it. You know, I guess I'm taking it all the way back. I'm looking forward to what type of racer am I going to be when I get back in the car? What kind of lights am I going to cut? And if I can just take my own advice, I'm going to live in that world.
Have we, and we'll end it with this because I know we started it last year. Well, I started 2 years ago with Tony. Have we finalized the birthing procedure where he's going to be? Have we finalized that yet?
Yes and no. I was going to induce between Vegas and Pomona, and now I'm not. I'm going to let God take control. So if I happen to give birth during Pomona and he's racing, then he's lucks out. He doesn't have to be there. But he did say secretly, so don't tell anybody. It's just between us. He said that he would be in the room. So, I mean, okay. Yeah, I know.
Whether he's standing after you give birth or not, he'll be in the damn room.
Yes. I think enough people have hounded him, like, you don't want to miss that opportunity, and then, like, once in a lifetime thing. So, and again, don't tell anybody.
And the Freaks, we were first on it when we had Tony Stewart on with us many moons ago, and they weren't even talking pregnancy.
They weren't even married yet.
No, they weren't. But we said, if they decide to have babies, I said, listen, Stewart, are you going to be in the birthing room? Are you going to be there to see your child being born? And he said, no, I'm going to be out in the waiting room with a six-pack and watching ESPN Sports Center. And it's come full circle. Full circle. Tony Stewart, either standing up or laying down, will be in the birthing room. Do I sound like I'm from 1930 when I say that?
Birthing room.
Do I say,
what is the room?
what do you call it?
What is
Because
it?
you can
just say in the room.
In the room, yes.
In the room.
Because when we had Henley, they just came to our room. We didn't go to the birthing room. It's just the room.
We had our little condo thing. Yes. It was a really sweet setup. They just like, okay, you're next. And then they left and went on to the next woman who was dying.
Yeah. Somebody up there with a catcher's mitt calling signs.
So yes, Tony, unless he gets lucky, as he says, and it all goes down. It all happens during the Pomona World Finals, which is a real possibility. And Tony's going for the championship while his wife could be giving birth.
Well, then Tony was, I don't think he'd mind me saying this, Tony was adamant about not having his child in California.
Yeah, he's like, she's going across the border to Arizona. And that's where our house is anyway.
They are hoping to have it in Kingman, Arizona.
What? Don't get the city.
They're hoping to have it in King George, St. Louis.
Oh my goodness.
What does it matter?
Weird fans. That's what matters.
People showing up at the birthing room for the birth of Tony Stewart's child.
Tony, yeah, you couldn't be there, Tony, but I'm here for you, for
It's
Leah.
like a new pope is born,
Yes.
her pics,
Right.
the white smoke comes up.
Yeah.
The white smoke.
Listen, if I know that whole group, man, they'll have a promotion. Come to the birthing room in place of Tony Stewart, dressed up as Tony Stewart.
Hey, it's a couple
They'll
weeks
give
after
away
Halloween.
catcher's mitts.
Yeah.
Buy a six-pack of beer, you'll get a catcher's mitt to go in the birthing room.
The Dodge Direct Connection logo right there.
Hit the star.
Direct connection, right?
Hey, Meta. Oh, my gosh. We love Tony Stewart and we love Leah Pruett.
They got a fun couple months coming up.
Yes, they do. Freak Nation, we didn't talk about it. And I want to talk a little bit about it next. We're going to hear from Alex Palou and Will Power. And somebody was missing from the U.S. Nationals that I believe it was Ron Capps brought it up during his pre-race interview. That was kind of like, holy smokes, no joke. Where would the
It
U.S.
was
Nationals?
noticeable. I was there all weekend.
Let's
but
keep
it
the
was
tease going.
noticeable.
Keep the tease
it
going.
was noticeable.
Don't give it up, Crash.
Yep.
So Alex Palou, Will Power, two IndyCar Series dudes running for a championship. They'll be joining us next. And somebody was missing, the U.S. Nationals. We talk about it next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
This segment's brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Now through the end of October, how about $100 back with a Visa prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying light truck SUV General Tires? Again, now through the end of October, you buy 4 qualifying SUV light truck tires, bam, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. For more information, go to generaltire.com. That's generaltire.com. Alex Palou, Will Power, both of these dudes running for a championship. Alex Palou goes out of the race. He's 2 weeks behind, meaning 27 laps, I think.
29, actually.
All right. Milwaukee. Gets back in the race car, and after the race, thanks to Will Power's spin, he still has, 33-point lead going into Nashville, Crasher?
I believe that is the number. It's because I was at the U.S. Nationals, I didn't get to see this race. I heard the first half in a car. So that's really all I had. When I started getting some of your text thread, I thought that Will Power was still in the top 3. So I did not see him spin out. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if it was nerves or if it was something in the car. I don't know what it was. But yeah, Will Power had this championship only by a few digits. It was going to come down to Nashville, but it was going to be so close. And then he spun, and now it's 33 points of a buffer back to Alex Palou's side. Oh, wow. What a whirlwind of a day.
Yeah, not only spun, but they called him into the pits at the wrong time, and he lost a lap or a lap and a half while he was in the pits checking the car out and so forth. And they were saying in the booth that perhaps that was a mistake, that the cars seemed to be okay, but they're in the booth. What do they know? So it was crazy to see all of this unfold, to watch Palou fall behind, the car go behind the wall, and they said that what eventually happened was that they just changed the battery and suddenly the car started. So all the stuff that they were doing, the manual start, all of that, and they changed the battery and the car started and they were out, and they did, and all the cars that were dropping out that were going out with crashes and so forth. He was just moving up the ladder. And let me add one more thing. I don't remember. I think it was Tony Stewart's third in NASCAR championship. He was at Charlotte, had a flat, came into the pits, wanted to stop. They kept him, they changed the tires, put him back out there, and he rode around and gained 35 extra points towards the championship. He won that championship by 35 points. So you never know what's important and what's not. And they said, we're going back out for points. And that could be, I mean, what if Palou has another bad weekend and ends up winning the championship by 3 points? And he could have been, he said, we'll wait till Nashville. I mean, it's you gotta compete.
Yeah, that was good on the team for that.
So Alex Palou went into the weekend with a 54-point lead. Follow me here, Freak Nation. Before Sunday's race, a 43-point lead. Alex Palou had issues on the warm-up laps, damaged his battery. Palou's late start allowed Will Power to completely close the gap in the championship until Will spun out independently on the restart lap at 131 it was. Power still finished 10th. Palou finished 19th. Palou now leads the championship by 33 points. So Power, Herta, McLaughlin, they're still in championship contention, but it's really between Power. Wouldn't you say between Power and Palou, Crasher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our good friend Jess caught up with Palou and Power post-race, talking about those issues that we just discussed.
I was not panicking. Obviously, I was nervous and mad at the display not working and the radio not working. But yeah, I knew I couldn't do anything. I was stuck and frustration, obviously. It's a short lap, right? It's not that you lose 1 or 2 laps. You see the safety trying to speak to you and you see that they've done 4 or 5 laps. So frustrating, but once I knew it was over for today, I knew that we could get a couple of points, and yeah, that was the target.
I mean, what's the chances, These things happen, though. So, yeah, we were looking great there. I think when we sort of had to do those restarts in the pack, that's tough, but that's a tough call also. I think, honestly, we would have held people off no matter what. We would have been okay. I mean, I made a mistake and spun the wheels up on the restart, trying to get a good restart to try to keep position, and that's what happened.
You're well, I guess I'm not the only one having a bad day, because when I went out, he was leading by something.
I think I got up to about 5 points is what I remember. Yeah.
So I was he was lucky yesterday. Again today, it's come on, and very unlucky for us. So yeah, I thought somebody crashed him out, and I was wow. I hope it's not somebody from my team, because otherwise it could be really bad, with joking aside. So, but yeah, knowing that it was him alone, he can only blame him.
You always look back and go, if I didn't spin or if we didn't pit, or, there's all these what ifs, but that's racing, that's life. It's never perfect. You gotta take the good with the bad. Just happens, I mean, it might happen to him on a restart in Nashville. He might be in a sweet spot and then suddenly spin. You just don't know. You don't know what can happen. It all happens for a reason. It will be interesting. I think Ganassi's very good at Nashville anyway, just based on Dixon's pace. Yeah, we kind of had to come out of here almost equal with them, but if they were going to have a normal day there. But yeah, we'll do our best. It could have been a lot easier, but also can be worse, it just, we could have crashed out there and it could have been all over, so we still have a chance.
I would have liked to wrap it up today. I think if we had a normal race without any mechanical issues, we would have been able to make it a lot tougher, but it was not the case. So yeah, we have a good week and a half in front of us to prepare for Nashville. I feel confident. The team is great, and we're looking forward for a fight.
You know what? Let me jump in here real quick. You know what the best part of that story is? There was no manufactured playoffs in IndyCar. Just raced, and the winner wins and the loser loses, and we're going to the last event and the championship is still up for grabs. That's just unheard of.
Hold on, man. Okay. Word is that there will be quadruple points for Nashville. And if you win the race, Scott Dixon will be able to clinch another championship.
No, but valid
Don't
point.
count out Scott Dixon, man.
Never. I think everybody has learned that.
Quickly crash.
I think for the last 10, 12 years, it's been almost all but one or two of those years, and yeah, COVID's in there, of it coming down to the final race with no manufactured playoffs. IndyCar is proving, for all their faults, they do prove year in and year out that their point system is stellar compared to everyone else because it always comes down to the final race. That's great.
Freak Nation, it took an interview with Ron Capps Monday afternoon from his pits to remind me. Again, I've kind of been out of it for 3 or 4 days with travel and some other motorsports that we were covering. But to remind me that the largest figure in all of motorsports, specifically drag racing, has been missing from the U.S. Nationals. We're talking about John Force. And to hear Ron Capps, who's running this livery from Don Prudhomme's days, U.S. Army on his funny car, go specifically into it just doesn't feel right without John Force here. Having John Force come over and slap me in the butt and have something funny to say. And we could spend Stat Crash, Richie, we could spend 2 days talking about John, but man, our thoughts are still with the family. There was a picture they put up with John with his grandson and his wife outside of one of his grandson's hockey game. But he certainly missed there, guys. He certainly missed.
Yeah, it was noticeably different. There's just an energy that comes with that entire John Force camp. And that was, it's not that they didn't have energy. They did. I mean, Brittany's always got some great momentum going. Austin Prock. It just was different. And it was noticeably different throughout all of the pits. It was just a quieter U.S. Nationals for the 70th annual. It was just different.
Statman?
No, I agree 1,000%. You miss John wherever John is supposed to be. You miss him when he's not there.
Freak Nation, woo! A long Labor Day weekend, a laborious 2-hour show. Don't believe that for a minute. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv. We've done it for 24 years, Freak Nation. Shoot the juice to the moose and Statman.
Cut it loose.
See ya.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP,